Good morning, good morning. It's Sunday, March 29th, and today's prompt is, why do I care so much about impressing other people? And on this topic, I look to my biggest mentor, Marcus Aurelius, who was the Emperor of Rome 2,000 years ago and spent a lot of time writing to himself in his diary, and that's where I'm going to pull some of these quotes from. But on this topic, I may be way past the days of caring about winning a popularity contest. I don't particularly care too much about having a fancy car or house to impress people, but I do think that conforming and dealing with societal norms is something that we all struggle with. And it's really powerful, so powerful in fact that even when you're trying to make changes that are in your own best interest, defending those can really feel like an uphill battle. And on that topic, when I gave up drinking alcohol 3 years ago, I think I was unprepared for the social commentary and the questioning around my decision about why I didn't want to drink. And to be clear, I don't have any issue with others drinking. I just found that it was in my best interest and for those around me to walk away from it. But I felt that I had to explain or justify or conform to other people's expectations. And abstaining from alcohol wasn't the hard part. It was dealing from the comments from other people, including friends and family and colleagues and strangers, about why I was making that decision. But I held fast in that resolve, and I think that was really important to help me forge my own independent thinking and to decide what was in my best interest and to trust that process. And I wish I had known Marcus's quote then. It was, if an action or an utterance is appropriate, then it's appropriate for you. Don't be put off by other people's comments or criticisms. And I think I knew that deep in my heart, but it just took some time to really come to terms with that. And after I gained the confidence through that experience, it became easier for me to optimize other areas in my life, regardless of how others perceived it. And so for me, those next areas that I worked on were nutrition and fitness. And what I found was that it's really unfortunate that there's a degree of social shaming that exists when somebody's working to improve themselves. And my decisions have never been about influencing or judging others. And I just wondered, why did someone else care so much about what I chose to eat or what I chose not to eat, or why I decided to get up and start my day, off at the gym. Perhaps some of that comes from an element of personal security. Maybe some of it's just a lack of understanding. Maybe it's just that we don't like when something is unpredictable and it runs against our expectations. But going back to Marcus, he says, don't waste the rest of your time here worrying about other people unless it affects the common good. And that's what I always have to keep in mind, is that I knew that in my core, these were changes that were absolutely good for me as well as for those around me in the community. And they were also more aligned with the natural order of life, and they weren't some artificially created societal expectation. And that's what Marcus means in this final quote here, which is, work, not to rouse pity, not to win sympathy or admiration. Only this: activity, stillness, and the logos as the state requires it. And I think that's what it comes down to, is that the logos being what nature dictates. We were intended to eat real food, mostly plants, not too much of it. We were intended to move about and take care of ourselves and our bodies. We were intended to practice moderation. So in the end, I summarize this by saying, define what is best for you and your well-being, and if it doesn't harm others, then you should pursue it unreservedly. Don't look to win others' approvals or take concern with the criticisms that you receive related to those decisions, and focus on the balance of activities that allows for progress, inner tranquility, and harmony with nature. And I found that by doing these things, life gets a lot simpler and rewarding, has less stress, less anxiety, and a lot more happiness, both for me as well as for others around me. Anyways, I hope you found this useful. Have a great day.